to play a game. It's a really hard game, so I need you to get ready. I mean, you're probably not in a ready position. You might even be watching this in a second monitor. Maybe you're on your lunch break or something. I'm going to need you to lock the fuck in for 5 seconds, okay? Just 5 seconds. Definitely not like the 10 to 15 minutes of usual rambling. But this is an image from the Romanian First League. Okay, it's an image from the Romanian First League. A recent match that I have since learned is between Rapid Bucharesti and FC Botasani. Okay, Rapid, as they are known colloquially in Romania, because of course I know that they are one of the better teams in the domestic league of Romania, which of course has the surprise package FCSB, doing very well in Europe. They are currently in the top 6 positions, which gets you to the championship group. This is one of those leagues, kind of like Scotland, that splits at a certain point, while Botasani is battling against relegation, and they are definitely going to be in the relegation group. But I'm guessing we're a couple matches. You got to play 30 matches before the league splits, so we're a couple matches away from that, which means there's really not a lot that Botasani. Well, I mean, all the points count, so you're playing to not get relegated. And if you're Rapid, this is a very important match because you are trying to get into the championship group in the first place. The problem is Romania snows. In Romania, actually, it snows quite a bit. The farther east you go in Europe, the more plains you get, the more snow and cold and just frigid shit you get. Same way, it works the same way in the United States, right? You go to Kansas City, right? I'm doing the podcast with Julian Gressel, who's playing at Inter Miami, right? And he is playing at Sporting Kansas City in the CONCACAF Champions League, and the temperature is expected to be -5 to -15 Celsius, I think, with wind chill, right? We're talking single digits Fahrenheit with wind chill that might even push it into the negatives, and they got to go out there and play football in that. And that's because that's on the plains of the United States. Well, that's what we're getting in Romania. All right. Now, that has prompted, obviously, a lot of brilliant stuff. Okay, this dude at FCSB decided to come up with a particularly ingenious way to potentially clear away some of this snow, right? And there is a bench strapped to the back of what I would presume is a lawnmower, and he's just dragging it back and forth across the field to try and remove as much snow as possible. Look, the game's the game, and I respect the hustle, and this is proper football groundsmanship. Get out your leaf blowers, get out your shovels, strap your benches to the back of your lawnmowers, and clear the damn field. These guys have a game to play. Then you usually have pretty long breaks in leagues like this. They do take a break for basically a month. When we look at Rapid's schedule in particular, they last played December 22nd, and then they come back January 20th. But that's obviously far too early, which brings us back to this game, which again carries a serious amount of importance for both of these teams, whether you're fighting against relegation or maybe playing for championship. And you see, obviously, that there are some players on this field. What you probably don't see is all of the players, because one of the teams, particularly Botasani, the team that ends up losing the match 1-0, they're in white. Okay, and over the rest of this video, I'm going to slowly unveil to you the players Botasani has on the field, because there's one there, and now we'll cut away. And we will reveal a couple of more players as we move on through this video for no other reason than I think that's fun. But I have some questions about how something like this can come to pass. Just a few. Because the logic test should dictate that nobody should be able to wear white in this situation. I don't know what allowance that you're gonna have here, but nobody should be able to wear white in this situation. It just shouldn't happen, particularly in a league like the Romanian league, where, as you noticed by our friend dragging the bench here, snow games are part and parcel of playing in Romania. This is not new. This is not the sort of thing that happens once in a blue moon and the league gets caught with its pants down. No, you're playing in Romania in January. It's going to be covered in snow, freezing as hell, and you probably shouldn't be able to wear white. But maybe, just maybe, I'm wrong. I know, it never happens, except for all of the time when it does, but usually it never happens, and this is just the TV. Obviously, I'm aware of the fact that we're looking at this through a picture that somebody took of their TV screen or a screenshot they took of their monitor. It counts the same. All right. And when we bring this picture back up, we're getting less color depth and just less depth in general when we're looking at this particular image. And so the effect of this amazing bit of camouflage that Bodasani seems to have been able to pull out is not nearly as big of an effect when you're actually on the field and, players are easier to see. Now, the only time that I think this would actually factor in when you're on the field is if a player is farther away from you. But obviously, the closer you are to a player on the field, you can see the difference between something that is flat on the ground and something that is not flat on the ground. There's also the fact that Rapid managed to win this match, which would indicate that they clearly weren't overly bamboozled by the fact that Bodajani was out there in all white. But it doesn't change the fact that the viewing experience of this game is brutal. And I mean, it's not like Romania is a small country. It's not like this league is a complete pushover, right? This is a serious league that actually has produced really serious European contenders. Romania's league has the same number of Champions League victories as France's. That is one of those football facts that sounds so insane it can't possibly be true, except for the fact that it absolutely is. Now, obviously, France's league is a much bigger deal than Romania's now, but I'm just saying that these are serious professional players, right? This is a league that is a step above your Irelands, right? Your Icelands, right? This is a league with fully blown professionals making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, playing in major cities with large supporter groups. That means there are likely a lot of people wanting to watch this on TV, like a couple of hard Scrabble fans from abroad that I happen to discover deep in the comments who root for Bodasani, actually. We're watching this match and lamenting the fact that they couldn't see shit. Because the TV product is the most important product for these football leagues. Now, I have a new reason that I'm surprised they were allowed to wear white. Because you can't watch this shit. You know why? Because that guy, you might have not noticed him, is a player. And that guy. And then this guy. Did you even see this guy? You probably didn't even. I can't even 100% confirm that this is a player. I think it's a player. I'm not sure. That's the ball, right? Which is orange. So at least they got that part right. And then, of course, there's the one that it actually took me 5 minutes of looking at this to notice. That guy. There's a player there. I might be missing one, honestly. I'm kind of worried that I'm missing one because it took me so long to see that guy. Of course, there's this guy up here. And those are all the Bodasani players that I believe are in this image. But I feel like I'm a few players short. Maybe they're just playing 7-on-7 or something. And I just didn't know that about the Romanian league up until this point. But I'm surprised this is legal. I'm surprised this was allowed in Romania. And given the fact that it is allowed, brilliant strategy. You should do this every time. There is not a single reason ever that you shouldn't do this in a snow game. The home team should always be in white until the Romanian league changes the rules. You know what to do, people. Play in white. Sorry, I'd finished recording this, but I just want to take a second to say that every single time I think about this image and the thought of this guy tying a bench to the back of his lawnmower to clear the field off, it gets better. I just want you to do the same thing so that before you go to sleep tonight, you just have a bit of a smile about this absolute badass. It's probably worked, too. It probably worked. What a guy.